the infamous lady-in-waiting to King Henry VIII, Elizabeth I's mother, Anne Boleyn, whose story inspired a multitude of books and movies, including the recent The Other Boleyn Girl starring Natalie Portman. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Historical Room Unfolded. Today we're talking about the rise and fall of Anne Boleyn, and before we start, I hope you already click like this video and subscribe my channel. Okay, let's dive into the video. You may have heard about her tragic fate, but how did she rise to become queen? What was so special about her? And why did it all fall apart? Let's find out. Anne Boleyn was born in 1501 in England. Her father, Thomas Boleyn, was a member of the English nobility who had served as ambassador to France and was currently serving as the English ambassador to the court of Pope Julius II. Her mother, Elizabeth, was the daughter of the Duke of York, making her first cousin once removed of King Henry VIII. At the age of 16, Anne was sent to the French royal court as a lady-in-waiting to Queen Isabella of the French, where she spent 6 years. In 1522, she returned to England with her father, who had been appointed as the English ambassador to France, and became a lady-in-waiting to Queen Catherine of Aragon. One can only imagine that Anne was not very happy about this, since Catherine was the wife of her cousin, King Henry VIII, and the thought of being just a lady-in-waiting probably didn't thrill her at all. But things were about to change drastically. When Henry set eyes on Anne, he was immediately smitten. He began showering her with expensive gifts and elevated her status, giving her a noble title and having her portrait painted by one of the most renowned artists of the time, Hans Holbein the Younger. He also started to take her on hunting trips and to exclusive parties, even though she was still married to her first husband, a man nearly 10 years her senior, who she had secretly wed without anyone knowing. The two began corresponding through secret letters, which were later intercepted by Anne's father and given to the king. They exchanged heartfelt messages professing their undying love for each other, and Henry made it clear that he wanted Anne to become his queen. But there was a problem. Catherine was still Henry's wife, and although their marriage had been childless up until this point, he could not divorce her because the Catholic Church forbade it. Henry was so determined to marry Anne, though, that he decided to break away from the church altogether. He declared himself the head of the Church of England and annulled his marriage to Catherine, citing her as his sister, which in the eyes of God made their marriage invalid. He then married Anne, who was pregnant at the time, and she gave birth to a healthy baby girl soon after. Their daughter was named Elizabeth, who would go on to become the famous Queen Elizabeth I. Henry's first marriage had lasted for 24 years, but he wasted no time making Anne's life miserable. Within months of their wedding, he began having affairs with other women. Not only that, but Anne had miscarried soon after giving birth to Elizabeth, and Henry desperately wanted a male heir, so he began to look for an excuse to get rid of her. When Anne found out that Henry was having an affair with one of her ladies-in-waiting, she took it out on her, publicly humiliating her in front of the entire court. This didn't go unnoticed, and soon Henry, too, was angry at Anne for mistreating one of his favorite ladies-in-waiting. It was the last straw in his long line of grievances against Anne, and after accusing her of adultery, incest and treason, he had her arrested and taken to the Tower of London, where she was executed by sword on May 19, 1536. She was only 35 years old. Elizabeth was only 2 years old when her mother died, and although she grew up hearing stories about what a terrible person Anne was, she must have wondered what it was like to have a mother who was once the queen. Did you know anything about Anne Boleyn before watching this video? Let us know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like and share. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video.